Hello, my lovely friends, it's Margaret, and it's time for a bookshelf tour. So I promised y'all at 500 subscribers that I would do a tour of my bookshelves and show you all of the books that I own. And I haven't. So we're at 650 subscribers, and I am finally getting around to it. I did start filming it a while ago and kind of got to, but then I got rid of some books and made some changes, and I just decided that I wanted to start fresh so you could see all of the changes that I have made to my bookshelves in recent times, and I wouldn't be giving, promo to that author when I went through my shelves because I just decided I don't need them anymore. Bye. So anyways, what's going to happen is I'm going to take you through a lightning quick tour of my shelves so you can see kind of how they're set up and how they look all nice and pretty before I completely dismantle them to show you every single book that I currently own, at least when it comes to fiction. I am not showing you all of the comic books. If you want that, you are going to have to ask for a different video at a different milestone. Maybe if you get me to 1,000 subscribers, maybe I'll do that. Maybe. I just own too many single issue comics, so they need their own video. I'll show you some of my graphic novels, but you're not getting the single issue comics. Sorry. Now that I've run you through that, let's go ahead and go to my bookshelves. Time for some quick vlog style footage of what my shelves look like currently at this moment right now. So this main shelf right here is my favorites shelf for the most part. You've got this top shelf that's got some of my favorite fantasy that I've really enjoyed. I'm missing a Toothless. Hold on. Toothless, where are you? We have located our dragon. He goes right here. This is a Christmas present from my brother because I had a How to Train Your Dragon phase, like a major one. And then down here we have more fantasy, like my favorite fantasy. I've got this fantastic, what was a mirror at one point until it got stepped on, that says the easiest lies to tell are the ones that we want to be true, from The Cruel Prince. I also have a very nice smelling hazelnut candle from Walmart, and this fantastic candle from Page Turning Candles Co. if it wants to flip to focus. Do you want to focus? It does not want to focus, and I don't have enough hands. Anyways, this is their library scent, and it smells like new books. You're going to see a few of those candles. I also obviously have my Percy Jackson shelf. Can we zoom out? Nope, that's the wrong way. There we go. Let's zoom out a little bit. I have this random mug that I got from Walmart. This is my jar of small booktubers for my Small Booktubers Can We Trust Them series. Obviously, Annabeth's Yankee Cap. I've got a little owl. This is Hedwig, but it's an owl, so it belongs on this shelf. I also have these candles from Court of Candles with Annabeth and Percy. It smells fantastic. This is more kind of my sci-fi going into contemporary shelf. And then some thrillers here at the end. These are some fantastic perennial faves. Like these three shelves that you just saw, those are my favorites. We have our mostly Shadowhunters shelves with some vampire books and random other fantasy. And then we have my historical fiction shelf, another Walmart candle. Once again, we have a fantasy shelf. This is the fantasy candle from Page Turning Candle Co. If focus, please. Nope, it's not going to because Killian's in the background. Anyways, I haven't gotten to use this one as much as I have the library or the sci-fi, but I enjoy it. I have this cute little, oh, you're going to be difficult, cute little shot glass that gets to hang out with my pirate bays and their bay and my swan. I also have this Jasmine figurine because she is the best Disney princess and I love her so much. Comic book shelf with my favorite OTP of all time. They're a little dusty, hold on. Please don't judge me. I have the candle that we got in the Illumicrate box for the Catwoman Soul Stealer. Fantastic box. They did a much better job than Lit Joy Crate did. I also have the candle that I bought multiples of these from the Batman box because this is the best candle to have ever existed. We've got little mini Batman I got from work. And then we have another one of my OTP as well as a whole bunch of Batmans. So we've got Aang and Momo. We have got Katara because they belong together. And then we have 1, 2, 3 more Batmans, plus Batgirl, Robin, and this gorgeous card that came with the Batman box. This is my comic book shelf. I'll show you some of those later. Then we move on to my sci-fi shelf. I have a random little Dalek that we found at work. Candle from Walmart, candle from Page Turning Candle Co. I love this because it's so, it's such an interesting floral scent, very clean. Hold on, can we, this is annoying me. There we go, haha. very clean, very fresh, like it's floral, but it smells like it belongs in a sci-fi, like it belongs on a spaceship. Obviously, sci-fi books, my TBR jar, and the crown that my friend got me for my birthday. This is my sad mystery kind of paranormal / thriller shelf with an owl that I stole from a friend. Well, she actually gave it to me. And some Kleenex, because everyone needs Kleenex in their life, or at least some tissues. That shelf we are going to ignore because that is kind of my storage shelf. Moving on, we have, let's turn you around. We have my contemporary shelf that has my pictures of my friends, a candle, and my book money jar with some money that needs to go to the bank. And then we have my other fantasy shelf. Originally this was up there, but I wanted to move it so that we did some finagling. Anyways, so this shelf, I have this cute little dish that I got that has a toothless on it. And this is where I store all of my memory cards and various memory related things. I have a bottle of ink that I got because my fountain pen has nib creep like there is no tomorrow. And it's really annoying. I have a little Hungarian horntail and this fantastic coaster that I just kind of propped up there because I think it's adorable. Anyways, this is my dystopian / fantasy shelf. We have yet another owl. Are y'all sensing a theme here? I also have this box from it was a Christmas present. It came with a whole bunch of like little stuff in it, and it was pretty and shiny and also fit perfectly to help prop up my books and keep them away from the Florida humidity from warping. So it is there until further notice. Finally, we have my classics shelf. Nothing really special going on here. I've got my old room theme from when I was obsessed with these colors. And that butterfly that I designed. Anyways, this is a shelf that y'all don't need to really see. It's kind of nonfiction. It's a lot of National Geographic. It's some of my singing books. We're not going over that one. Please forgive the weird angle. This is a very tall shelf. So this is what we're going to deal with until I get back to normal sized shelves. So this first fantasy shelf I have, Two Best the Boys by Mary Weber, Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody, Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White, Four Muse of Fire by Heidi Heilig, Onyx and Ivory by Mindy Arnett, The Reader by Tracy Chee, Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. My favorite versions of the covers for Poison Study, Magic Study, and Fire Study by Maria V. Snyder, Hawk Song and Snake Charm by Amelia Atwater Rose, Crown Jewel by Sherwood Smith, Resenting the Hero by Moira J. Moore, and these Mass Magic paperbacks that don't want to stand up on their own. I have Wild Magic, Wolf Speaker, Emperor Mage, and The Realm of the Gods by Tamora Pierce. Moving on to my favorite fantasy shelf, we have the original hardcovers of A Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab, along with these gorgeous collector's edition Barnes & Noble versions of the same series. I love these because they have all of this fantastic fan art in them. They make me so happy. Like, I truly, just like, look at that. I love it. I want it on my wall. I also have more versions of Holly Black's Cruel Prince series than anyone should probably own. I have the Cruel Prince and the Wicked King in the original white version. I also have the Cruel Prince, the Wicked King, and the Queen of Nothing in the Barnes & Noble Black Collector's Edition. And then finally, I have the entire trilogy in this fantastic Illumicrate Collector's Edition. So here's the Cruel Prince with this fantastic, specially designed cover. And also, if you take the cover off, you've got that. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Here's a closer look at the Wicked King. And then, whoops. And then under the cover. And then finally, a better look at Queen of Nothing with Booksnake, living his best life out there. Look at that. And from there, I have the original Daughter of Smoke and Bone hardcovers, which is Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters. I absolutely love these covers, despite that being the most unpopular opinion on BookTube, I think. I have the US paperbacks of Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmare, as well as the original hardcovers, which are, as usual, of course, tabbed the heck up. Alright, time to tackle my Rick Riordan shelf. First, we have this giant hardcover copy of Percy Jackson's Greek God, my illustrated edition of The Lightning Thief, the new paperback editions of The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian, that line up so nicely, both from the front and together with the spines facing out. I also own the original hardcovers of the Percy Jackson series. Not all of these were easy to find. I had to hunt for books 1 and 2. Took me the longest to find book 2. Book 1 is also, obviously, tabbed up. I also have the hardcovers of The Lost Hero, The Son of Neptune, The Mark of Athena, The House of Hades, and The Blood of Olympus. Once again, full of tabs and notes. I also have the Magnus Chase series with The Sword of Summer, The Hammer of Thor, and The Ship of the Dead, and the Kane Chronicles with The Red Pyramid, The Throne of Fire, and The Serpent's Shadow, and the first book in the Trials of Apollo, The Hidden Oracle. And then finally, How to Train Your Dragon by Cressida Cole, because there was a gap and I needed something to fill the gap so that my books would not get warped from the humidity. On my third favorite shelf, we have a little bit of a mix of genres, thanks to Scott Westerfeld, but we have the original Uglies paperbacks, Uglies, Pretties, Specials, and Extras by Scott Westerfeld, the Leviathan trilogy by Scott Westerfeld, including Leviathan, Behemoth, and Goliath. Then we move on to Allie Carter. I have all of Allie Carter's original Gallagher Girls hardcovers, which includes I Tell You I Love You, but then I'd have to kill you, Cross My Heart and Hope to Spy, Don't Judge a Girl by Her Cover, Only the Good Spy Young, Out of Sight, Out of Time, and United We Spy. I also have Allie Carter's Heist Society trilogy, which is Heist Society, Uncommon Criminals, and Perfect Scoundrels, and her Embassy Row trilogy, All Fall Down, See How They Run, and Take the Key and Lock Her Up. Finally, I have Not If I Save You First, the very first Allie Carter book I ever tabbed. Okay, we're gonna have to skip over to my Dot Hutchison book. I have Dot Hutchison's debut, A Wounded, which has my very favorite author's note in it, which is, where is it? There we go. Beautiful author's note at the front. I also have Dot Hutchison's thriller series, the Collector's series, The Butterfly Garden, The Roses of May, The Summer Children, and The Vanishing Season. These books are dark, they definitely have trigger warnings, but they are absolutely beautiful. Now we can get to the rest of my Sanjay Menon book. I have the first 2 Dimple-verse books, When Dimple Met Rishi, and There's Something About Sweetie. I also have the original hardcover of From Twinkle with Love, and of Curses and Kisses, the first in Sanjay Menon's retelling series about classic fairy tales. Moving on to my paranormal kind of show. I have Unblemished by Sarah Ella. I have Grim Lovelies by Megan Shepherd. The first 3 paperbacks of the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead, Vampire Academy, Frostbite, and Shadow. I have the 4th book in her Bloodline series, The Fiery Heart, and then I have a lot of Cassandra Clare. I have The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, and Maureen Johnson. I have these gorgeous paperbacks of the Infernal Devices trilogy, Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess, along with the original hardcovers of Clockwork Angel and Clockwork Prince. I have the original hardcovers of the first 4 Mortal Instruments books, City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, and City of Fallen Angel, as well as the new paperbacks of City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass. I really like how the paperback spines line up, so those are the editions that I am planning on collecting all of the books in. However, I did start this before we had these fantastic editions. Here we have my historical fiction shelf, which has the last remnants of when Christian fiction was my bread and butter. I have the entire Cheney Duvall series by Gilbert and Lynn Morris, along with the sequel series that we got 3 books for. This was one of my favorite romances when I was a teenager. However, thinking back on some of it, these books might have been written by a Confederate apologist, so I don't know how I feel about them anymore. I also have Hadassah, One Night with the King by Tommy Tinney, because there was a point in my life where I thought Esther was the most romantic story in the Bible. I have not changed my mind. I think it's Ruth. I have The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini, Dread Nation by Justina Ireland, My Plain Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows, Enchantée by Gita Trelise, The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Hare, The Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys, Lazaretto by Diane McKinney Whetstone, The Silence of Bones by June Hur, Esperanza Rising by Pam Munoz Ryan, and then I have a whole bunch that are left from my middle school days that I don't know if I recommend them, but they're on my shelf, so here we go. I have Running Out of Time by Margaret Peterson Haddock, Spirit Horse by Ned Ackerman, Smokey the Cow Horse by Will James, and Mustang Wild Spirit of the West by Marguerite Henry. On our third fantasy shelf, we have a copy of Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales that I grabbed from Barnes & Noble, East by Edith Pateau, Princess of the Midnight Ball by Jessica Day George, more paperbacks that do not want to stand on their own, including Ella Enchanted, The Two Princesses of Lamar, Ever, and Fairest by Gail Carson Levine. We also have The Outlaws of Sherwood, Beauty, The Hero on the Crown, and the Blue Sword by Robin McKinley, Stardust by Neil Gaiman, The Princess Bride by William Goldman, Before Midnight, Golden Sunlight and Shadow, The Storyteller's Dog, Beauty Sleep, and Winter's Child by Cameron Doki, The Rose Bride by Nancy Holder, Snow by Tracy Lynn, Midnight Pearl, and Scarlet Moon by Debbie Vigue, and then Water Song, The Crimson Crimson Thread, and The Night Dance by Suzanne Wynn. We also have Dealing with Dragons by Patricia C. Reed, and paperbacks of The Wrath and the Dawn, The Rose and the Dagger, and Flame in the Mist by Renee Adier. I also have a copy of The Iron King by Julie Kagawa, the original hardcover of A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, and the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of Victoria Aveyard's Broken Throne. On this shelf, we have the entirety of my sad manga collection, including Volume 1 of Special A, Volumes 1 and 2 of Dengeki Daisy, Volumes 2, 8, 9, and 10 of Rurouni Kenshin, and Volume 2 of My Hero Academia. It is also home to my DC YA novels collection, including Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo, Batman Nightwalker by Marie Lu, Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J. Maas in both the original US and the Waterstones UK editions, and Superman Dawnbreaker by Matt De La Pena. I also have the 50th anniversary edition of Batman Hush, my favorite graphic novel of all time, volumes 1 through 4 of Batman Rebirth by Tom King, the first 3 original bind-ups of Ed Brubaker's Catwoman Series 3, and all 3 bind-ups of the Death and Return of Superman saga. I forgot to mention that I have a tiny little Finn that I picked up from work, who kept me company for quite a few years. Alright, going through the sci-fi shelf, we have Heir Apparent by Vivian Van Velde, Warcross by Marie Lu, The Sound of Stars by Alechia Dow, the Renegades trilogy, which is Renegades, Archenemy, and Supernova by Marissa Meyer, the first 2 Lunar Chronicles books in the original hardcover, Cinder and Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, the original hardcover of Brightly Burning by Alexa Dunn, as well as the ARC and also finished copy of The Stars We Steal by Alexa Dunn. We also have book 3 of The 100, Homecoming by Cass Morgan, still not sure why Finn is on the cover when he's not even in the book, Sanctuary by Karen Lix, Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and Leviathan Wakes and Caliban's War by James S.A. Corey. Moving on to my sort of mystery shelf, I have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Rick, Black Rabbit Hall by Ava Chase, The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson, and also Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, and finally The $1,000 Tan Line by Rob Thomas and Jennifer Graham. On my contemporaries shelf, we have the Owl Crate exclusive edition of From Twinkle with Just Listen by Sarah Dessen, The Hate You Give and On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, Pride by Ibiza Boy, The Wedding Date and the Proposal by Jasmine Guillory, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert, The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, Frankly in Love by David Yoon, This Time Will Be Different by Misa Sugura, Again But Better by Christine Riccio, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, A Man Called Uva by Frederick Bachman, Paper Towns, the original cover of The Fault in Our Stars, the special edition cover of The Fault in Our Stars, and Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, I Can Make This Promise by Christine Day, and Other Words for Home by Jasmine Warga. We have reached the 4th fantasy shelf, which has these fantastic paperbacks of The Silmarillion, The Hobbit, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. More paperbacks that don't want to stand up in The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Horse and His Boy, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Silver Chair, and The Last Battle by C.S. Lewis. There is also a very beat up, much tabbed up version of Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. All 7 of the original Harry Potter hardcovers that I did not pay any money for whatsoever. And then the original hardcovers of Aragon, Eldest, and Brissinger by Christopher Paolini. On our dystopian / fantasy shelf, we have A Time to Die by Nadine Brandis, the original Hunger Games hardcovers, which includes The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and A Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins, Wither, Fever, and Sever from Lauren DeStefano's Chemical Gardens trilogy, and the original hardcover of The Darkest Minds by Alexander Bracken. On the fantasy side of things, we have Shower the Sky by Rebecca Kim Wells, The Tiger at Midnight by Swati Tirhala, Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maharan, and The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. Going into my classics shelf, fair warning, I haven't read most of these, so don't ask me questions. First, I have these fantastic Everyman's Library editions of Northanger Abbey and Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I also have the Bantam Classics paperbacks of both Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Paperbacks just don't want to stand up. I have The Quiet Little Woman, A Christmas Story by Louisa May Alcott. I have The Porterful Chaucer for some reason. Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. This is one of the ones that I have definitely not read, and I'm not sure why it's on my Actually, I do know why it's on my shelf. It's because I went kind of crazy at my library book sale in college. There we go. Alright, that's as good as it's going to get. I have Oliver Twist, Great Expectations, and David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. I don't know that I've read Oliver Twist, but I definitely have read Great Expectations and David Copperfield. Great Expectations happens to be my favorite Dickens so far. Another purchase that I have not read but got at that library sale was Sherlock Holmes, The Complete Novels and Stories, Volume 2 by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This one doesn't want to stand up, so we're holding it. I have North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. I absolutely loved the miniseries, so I decided I wanted to read the book. So I did. I have Mallory's Le Mort d'Arthur, which I think I've read, but I can't remember. I've read part of it at least. Tamberlin the Great, Part 1 and 2 by Christopher Marlowe. You're not standing up either. I got this when I was a theater student and wasn't really mad about people trying to say that Christopher Marlowe wrote Shakespeare's stuff, so yeah. I also have a very beat up version of Anne of Avonlea by Ellen Montgomery, The Moon Bridge by Marcia Savin, and then my Shakespeare books. I have Much Ado About Nothing by William Shakespeare, my favorite Shakespeare play to have ever existed, a companion to Shakespeare Studies, edited by H. Granville Barker and G.B. Harrison. Also Who's Who and What's What in Shakespeare by somebody whose name, by Evangeline M. O'Connor. I have one of the only college textbooks that I kept, The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. I absolutely loved it. And also The Heavenly Twins by Sarah Grant. Also loved this. Also, it was $50, so I kept. Finally, on this shelf, I have Mary Poppins, The Complete Mary Poppins by P.L. Travers. Haven't read this one, but I want to eventually. Those are the books I own, or at least the ones that I have read. If you would like to see my unread books, I did make a video on that back in December or January. I'll have that linked up top. You can go ahead and watch that. Most of those I do still own, or are still up there, because I read slow, apparently. Let me know down in the comments what books you think are missing from my current book collection, because I'm always looking to get more books, so tell me, what should I buy next? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, I'll have videos over here that you might enjoy as well. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!